Hello, everybody. Today I have Eric Livsey, an owner of Norella Solutions, with us today. Hey, Eric, how's things going?
Good. How's it going?
It's going great. And welcome to this week's Business Spotlight. I really appreciate you taking some time with us today.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, excellent. So it's really great talking with you're a veteran. Your wife's a veteran of the Air Force. It's really great talking to veterans. I'm a veteran. My partner's a veteran. We have veterans have so much to offer business owners. So it's great to be able to talk with you today and see how things are going. So tell me a little bit about Norella Solutions and what you guys actually do.
For sure. So Norella Solutions is a medical staffing agency. At the moment, we focus on placing respiratory therapists. By trade, that's what me and my wife are, and that's the job that we got trained to do in the military. So we wanted to continue to be able to utilize that skill that was given to us and make a business out of it. So we are expanding, and we're looking to get into placing nurses and other allied health professionals. But at the moment, we do focus on placing respiratory therapists.
Okay, excellent. So who's your best or ideal customer?
So I would say our ideal customer would be larger hospital systems. Our best customer at the moment is we do some subcontracting work through a company called Career Staff. And so that kind of gives us access to a bunch of different jobs, openings. And I believe Genesis Hospitals bought Career Staff. And so it's pretty much placing people in different Genesis hospital facilities. So that's our best customer right now.
Okay, and are you guys focused regionally, or are you looking at national placement?
Yeah, so we're definitely looking to become national. Right now, we kind of focus on Virginia. With medical staffing, it can be hard to obtain workers' comp policies for different states. They don't tend to do blanket coverages because every state kind of has their own thing. So once you kind of get your foot in the door and build a rapport, and you can kind of start branching out into different states and getting coverage elsewhere. So we're in the process of also getting coverage for Louisiana, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. And so pretty soon we'll be able to kind of open up our markets and be able to place people in a couple of different locations.
All right. So when you're doing that with that insurance, are you having to get with different insurance companies for each state, or are you able to find a national level one that can cover all states?
So it would be ideal to kind of stick with one because it would be a lot easier to keep up with. But that doesn't always happen. So sometimes you will find yourself looking at different carriers. But for us, we actually are able to stick with the same one for now. So we actually just put that in place.
So you've been doing this for about a year now, correct?
Yes, sir.
So COVID created havoc, in 2020. Starting about a year ago, was there impact with COVID-19 on what you do?
Yeah, so it actually really impacted the industry, and we weren't necessarily, so we had formed the business around that time last year when everything was really ramping up with COVID, but we didn't really start taking off until about March or April of this year. So, but I am kind of knowledgeable of what the industry was doing at that time. And because there was such demand for healthcare professionals, you saw a lot more agencies pop up. And so there's definitely an influx, and there was a major need for medical staffing agencies. And there always has been, and there always will be, but there was just the influx of it, and how much it grew in that period of time was pretty incredible. But with that also came a bunch of agencies who maybe didn't necessarily put in the time or the research, and people started kind of giving agencies a bad name because they weren't following best practices, and it was kind of just fly-by-night agencies who were trying to get in and get a quick cash grab.
Right. Trying to capitalize on the situation and not doing it properly, right?
Yes, sir.
So were there any actions that you took because of the pandemic to shift or pivot the way that you started and grew your business?
Because of the pandemic, I don't think so. Because like I said, when we actually got going, it was kind of early this year. And so the pandemic had really started dying down by that point. So it hasn't necessarily affected us, or at least strategically how we go about things. Yeah, because we weren't really functional at the height of the pandemic.
Okay. So so far in your journey, what's the biggest learning in business that you've had?
There's a lot. There's a lot. And I I had to learn, I'm still learning. Um, it's you're never gonna know everything about the business world or things that come up on a daily basis. But I would say like being persistent, and I think the military kind of trains us for that as well. Never like if somebody comes up to you in the military and asks you a question, saying you don't know is never really acceptable. It's always like, I'm not sure, but I can definitely find that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to go out and look for and find the information that you need has been a huge, I guess, personality trait or aspect of your personality that you need to succeed in business. But um, I would say probably HR issues is probably the one thing that is constantly arising questions that need to be answered.
So HR issues in finding the people that you can place.
So just as far as compliance and different forms that you need from the state to get people going and um, onboarding, just the whole process. Um, Obviously, we've all had jobs, and so you go through the onboarding process as an employee, but just figuring out what forms you need and just the whole process in general, it's all new. So you have to just trying to make sure that you're staying compliant and that type of thing.
Yeah. So those are some great learnings, and it sounds like you really I mean, when people can identify those areas and the fact that you said you're never going to know everything, but being able to go find the answers is man, that's spot on. So
Sure.
what have you learned about yourself during this journey?
I would say for me, when I first got started, I was I was itching for a partner. I thought that I needed somebody, and it was almost like a crutch because I didn't trust myself. Because there's so many unknowns. I always just thought, two heads are better than one. My wife is obviously a part of the business, but she's more so, how do you say, like, she likes the processes and organization and that type of thing. So as far as all the new obstacles that came up, a lot of times I felt like I was by myself. And so I had to learn that, in business, you can rely on people, but you have to be prepared to move forward by yourself and um, trust yourself, because at the end of the day, if all else fails, you know, it's your business, and you got to keep the show going. So you got to be confident and know that this is your baby. People can be there to help you out, and if they are, soak it in. Take all that information in. But at the end of the day, trust yourself and kind of be ready to take things on alone.
Yeah, wow, that's I love that because we always say business ownership is a lonely place, right? You do have to have those mentors, you do have to have those people that you can turn to and talk to, but both the positive And the negative of business ownership is it is all about you, right? It starts and ends with you. That's what's so great, because your vision, your goals, you can achieve anything you want, right? Build this awesome lifestyle. But the thing is all up to you, right? So, so I love that. That's some really, really great thoughts there. What advice would you give to anyone thinking of going into business?
Anyone thinking about going into business, I would say, for one, if you have an idea that you think people will definitely need or buy, if it's a product, definitely you want to be prepared and think about the things that you know that you're going to need. But at the end of the day, don't be scared to get started, because there's a lot of things that you're going to learn along the way, and it's going to just make you a better business owner at the end of the day. So, you don't want to you don't want to go in so unprepared that it's detrimental to your business, but you're never going to feel prepared enough. So it's like, just get started, learn as they come. And I think I saw Steve Harvey say it one time. He's like saying how he loves making mistakes, which obviously, is kind of tongue in cheek, but it's like, okay, after you make that mistake, it's good because you're not going to do it again. So it's like, finally, I got that mistake out of the way. Now I know that's not going to happen again, and keep moving forward. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most successful people make more mistakes than they have wins, but it's learning from those mistakes and moving forward. So that's great. So Eric, do you have any offers or anything you want to include in the newsletter?
Any offers? So I guess the way that it works, we don't really have any offers, like any tangible things. But if you're an allied health professional, a nurse, or a respiratory therapist, and you're looking for a company that is smaller in numbers, and you're not going to feel like just another number, and you're looking for a personal relationship with your company who's going to look out for you and actually make sure that you're getting paid fairly, and your facilities are doing right by you as a contractor, we're definitely somebody that you want to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll include a link for you guys to your website and anything else you want in there, logos and things like that.